Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Worth the Hype podcast. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Sarah, and today we are talking about the music of the year.
So, we're just going to put out one disclaimer before we jump in. First of all, I'm so sorry for spelling Juice WRLD wrong on our polls. No, honestly, honest mistake. R.I.P. Juice WRLD, for real. But we are going to get back to him
A little bit later in this podcast. And that was just one more apology from Jenna for her spelling mistakes, you know. But it's okay. We're working on that. Let's dive in. So, Spotify Wrapped just got released a few days ago.
Yeah.
And every year, everyone's posting about it.
Yep.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, like your most listened to in 2019, how many minutes you listen, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so cool. And they've been doing it for a few years. It always gets like a ton of hype on Instagram. Everybody posted on their stories. And Apple Music was just not there.
No, Apple Music tried to do something like it, but it was kind of stupid because you had to go on a different website, log in with your Apple ID to get it. And mine wasn't even accurate. Unless, I messed something up along the way, but it only said, I listened to 36 hours of music, which, I don't think that makes any sense.
Yeah, so this was Apple Music's first time doing this, and obviously it was a little bit bumpy. They didn't have as many, features and, cool, categories as Spotify has.
Yeah.
And, yeah, apparently that it wasn't, accurate for most people.
Well, maybe it was for some. I don't know. For me, I looked at it and I was like, there's no way that I only listened to 36 hours of music. And that, my top artist was, I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyways.
At least this year they tried.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be better next year.
Yeah. And like I said, every year people post a ton, especially for the Spotify one. But this year there was memes about it. Where people were like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see.
Yeah, on TikTok, it was
I love seeing people's Spotify Wrapped.
Because you feel like you know a little bit more about them.
I know exactly who you are now.
Yeah.
No, but it's just cool to, compare your own. So I wanted to talk about my own Spotify Wrapped for a second.
Take it away.
Because I didn't post it on Instagram. No. I'm talking about it in the podcast.
That's the level of extra Sarah's reached. She wants everybody to know.
I want you all to know. So, if you know me well, you should know that my number one artist is Travis Scott. And I could make a whole episode on Travis Scott. I love
Comment down below if you guys want Sarah to make a whole episode about Travis
All
Scott.
Alone Without Jenna because she doesn't appreciate him.
No, but I just don't love him like you do.
Yeah. Anyways, Astroworld was effing iconic.
I like that.
And, yeah, whatever. Top artists of the year for me were Travis Scott, Drake. I mean, those two have always been in my top 5. They're just in general top 5 artists of our generation, I guess. Ariana Grande came in for me this year.
Thank you. Next.
I don't know how. I must have been in a really girly mood for the first half of the year because I haven't listened to her in months, but
because her album was fire.
Her album was so good, and we're gonna get back to that. But then I had A Boogie with a Hoodie, also one of my favorite artists, and
Harry Styles was on mine. That's a thing that I know, and he
was on your top 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, Apple only shows you 5. I think he was my number 1, which makes sense because I love him. I listen to him all the time.
I didn't know that.
But nothing. Yeah, you did. Okay, I'm a diehard. First of all, diehard One Direction fan. Diehard. I love them. And Harry's my favorite. And he is actually coming out with a new album. So I'm really excited. And 3 songs already dropped from it.
Yeah, I've seen everywhere. Oh my God.
I love him. But anyways.
We
are moving on to something that we have to talk about.
Yes.
So, disclaimer. We are not in any way making fun of this.
Making light of the situation.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all know Juice WRLD passed away
December 8th. He had a seizure at an airport in Chicago.
And I actually think this is really sad. Whatever. He was really on the come up this year.
Yeah.
He had a really, like, this year was huge.
A
for
big
him.
year. Yeah, definitely.
So I don't agree with people, like, making jokes or, like, theories about people's death. However,
this has been talked about all over the internet.
like, crazy. And
Yeah.
if you don't, like, if you think that this is wrong, whatever, just skip it. Because, like, I understand that it's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But we're going to quickly
We have to talk
address
about it because it has been everywhere, and that's what we do.
True.
So,
Exactly.
let's just start from the beginning. So, first of all, back in, like, November, TikTok, you know, famous app, iconic app. Anyways, there was a viral trend on TikTok to his song Lucid Dreams where people reenacted having a seizure. So, like, already, okay, first of all, that's kind of wrong. You should not reenact that and make it a trend.
In any, like, under any circumstances.
But for whatever reason, it became a trend. Whatever, fine. He died of a seizure. A little bit weird, not that weird. Could be completely coincidental.
That's strange.
Strange, but coincidence.
But could be, like, coincidence.
Yes.
Also, well, I think it was 2 years ago. I believe it was in November of 2017. Don't quote me, but he tweeted
April 2017.
Oh, my bad. He tweeted, "My goal is to get overly famous, shine for a couple years, and then fake my death." Which he kind of became famous for 2 years, and then...
And especially blew up this year in particular.
Like, crazy blew up.
And then died. So we don't know. Also, back to... Okay, so in one of his songs called Legend, his lyrics literally say, "We ain't making it past 21," and he died at 21, and he just turned 21. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, or very recently it was his birthday.
Yeah, and to add to that, in the lyrics of All Girls Are the Same, he says, "I'm a jealous boy, really feel like John Lennon," and John Lennon died on December 8th.
And so did Juice WRLD. So... I don't know how to feel about this.
This just all clicks together too seamlessly.
Yeah, there are way too many things that connect it. I mean, maybe it's people making light of it or just people, like, looking for clout, trying to, like, make connections.
Yeah, that's where I don't like this whole thing. However, it makes you think a little.
It does make you think a little.
Anyways, speaking of artists that popped off this year, there was many.
Yes.
Juice WRLD was definitely one of them, if not the top. But his biggest competitor is Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Wow.
She popped off this year.
She sister snapped.
I love her.
She sister snapped. Where did she come from? I swear, like, I feel like she just came out of nowhere and took over.
Yeah. I feel like she was like a low-key artist sort of thing. Like,
yeah, like
there was her album. I actually don't know what it's called, but it was
the
latter one, exactly. And that was like you'd see a few people posting. You're like, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
And like, but it was like an underground vibe.
Yeah,
like
you know those vibey people that are all about vibes.
Like it was one of those.
Like they appreciate the underground artists a lot, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Billie Eilish was kind of in that like genre or whatever.
And then all of a sudden,
she had
boom,
a few bangers, and she could be the artist of 2019.
She could be, and her style is just so different.
She
like in music and the way she dresses.
Yeah, I feel like just her as a person, she's so real and different that people like
are drawn to her.
Appreciate that, and that's also with her music. So like it's not really like anything else that you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
Everything on the radio sounds the same.
Poppy. Or like rap.
Even rap, a lot of it sounds the same.
Yeah.
She's different. So I think that has a big part in why she like popped off so much. But to talk a little bit about rap, we had a few big contestants this year. Lil TJ,
who literally popped off at your party.
He popped out at the party with the gang. And Roddy Ricch, he really came out of nowhere too. His album was insane. A lot of people said that his album was the best of the year. And then of course there was Blueface who came
Blueface
out.
Baby.
I don't think that he was like a pop off artist.
It was that
one song.
But now whenever you hear Blueface Baby, like you know it's him. So it's like staple.
True.
Yeah.
Lil Tecca.
Yeah.
He used to be a meme. Like Six Buzz meme. If Lil Tecca was anywhere, it was just like, haha, there's Lil Tecca, what a waste you. And now people actually enjoy his
music. I know.
And not even gonna lie, like some of it's pretty good, like catchy.
I don't think
it's like,
really
wow,
listen
he's
to Lil
like
Tecca.
talented, really different and special. But
It's just like another trapper, another rapper.
The Jonas Brothers come back.
Guys, this was probably like one of the most iconic things ever. The Jonas Brothers coming back. I love them. First of all, when I was grade 1, went to their first concert. Amazing.
Yeah, me too. It was my first concert ever.
Me too.
Went for my birthday.
Joe pointed at me. My mom told me that.
Bull.
Just to hype me up, but it was amazing.
Wait, do you remember when Nick Jonas did the like story about his diabetes and like?
Oh my god! And you were crying.
I was
crying.
The whole stadium was crying. A few other quick mentions. Lizzo.
Yeah.
And then she was in Hustlers with like Cardi B. J-Lo.
Fun fact about Lizzo, if you go to Ryerson or been downtown recently.
Oh, her naked photo is everywhere.
Everywhere downtown in Yonge and Dundas Square, the movie theater there. Actually, a huge blow-up of her album cover picture.
Da Baby. On Spotify Wrapped, they have one category of like who your artist was.
Your favorite new artist
this year was, and so many people's was DaBaby.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with 2 albums this year. They were both really good. He was mine on Spotify Wrapped, my favorite new artist.
Yeah, I don't really listen to I'm not even I just hop on the really popular ones.
True. I like to explore. I'm more of an album person.
I get it.
And lastly, Summer Walker.
Oh yeah.
If you don't listen to Summer Walker, I'm doing you a favor here. Write this down. I'm not joking. Especially for the girls.
Write it down. Get your pen and paper out.
Get your sticky note. Put a reminder in your phone to go listen to her album. It is amazing. I swear every song on there I could vibe to. You need to go listen.
Yeah, I do. I will take your advice. Hold on, let me just make note of it. I'll take your advice and go listen.
I don't think guys are really gonna like it, but
you never know.
You know what?
You never know.
I think you should all try and give her a shot.
Some other iconic things that we want to talk about, which have to do with music, is Hot Girl Summer.
Hot Girl Summer.
The movement.
It was a movement.
We've labeled it as a movement. You heard it here first. Hot Girl Summer was not a trend. It was a movement.
It was a freaking movement, man. City Girls, I'm pretty sure they started it. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But credit goes to them. They popped it off.
Yeah. Honestly, every girl's Instagram caption, then it turned into Hot Girl Semester.
Every Instagram model, especially if it was an Instagram model that advertises for Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everything was Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah.
Songs, Hot Girl Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Even Blackberry did Hot Girl
Winter. Hot Girl Winter, Hot Girl Semester. There were so many Hot Girl.
Then it became Frat Boy Fall.
Oh yeah.
And White Boy Winter. Anyways,
that's why it's a movement. Iconic. Another thing we want to talk about is country music being on the come up. How do you feel about that, Sarah?
I love it. I am a country listener. When I was younger, I didn't like it, but in high school, whatever, I hung out with a lot of people, boys and those few groups that actually listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they introduced me, and I love it. And I love that so many people are starting to like
country. It used to be you got your roasted if you listened to it. Yeah. A few of my close friends are country, boots and hearts. So they're sending me country songs. I'm like, okay, but now
also country is turning less country.
That's true. More poppy.
Yeah. So it's more
yeah. No, 100%.
It's mass marketing, you know? Yeah. They're reaching everybody.
More diverse audiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing we wanted to talk about is about TikTok songs becoming mainstream and vice versa, because we know TikTok, awesome, iconic, everything blows up on there. You can get famous doing whatever.
Not me.
It's okay, Sarah made a TikTok. It didn't pop off as much as mine.
Oh my
gosh. But anyway, as
TikTok.
Much as our producer Paul's did, who gets 22K on videos. So.
Actually, I got 25K on Paul's account, so
it wasn't your account, so you know what?
Anyways, TikTok is just influencing this whole year. We did an episode on TikTok.
Yeah.
You should listen to that if you want to hear about TikTok.
Yeah. But, like, Roxanne heard that on the radio.
Yeah, Roxanne, like, a lot of songs start on TikTok
Yeah.
and become popular, vice versa.
Exactly.
And also, Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Artist
We need
of
to
the
get back to that.
Okay, we're going to come back to that, but that...
That's a whole debate in itself.
Man.
But we will get there. We will get there.
So, albums of the year. We asked you guys.
We did.
We not only asked you guys, we also researched and gave a little bit of our own opinion, talked to a few people.
Yeah.
And these are the albums
What we have gathered.
that we gathered
Mm-hmm.
a lot. A really lot.
A lot of really.
A few of them actually came out at the end of 2018.
Yeah, but they didn't get popular.
But they don't get popular till the beginning of 2019. So Hoodie Season and Astroworld both came out towards the end of 2018.
Mhm.
And both of those albums were like amazing through 2019
yeah.
as well.
The
So,
Astroworld tour was in
the
2019.
It started
lot of
at
it.
the end of 2018.
Yeah.
And then the end of the first leg and the whole second leg were in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Astroworld is another movement, okay? Wow.
Wow.
I'm speechless.
Another great album of the year. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Okay, first of all, Thank You Next, amazing. But the music video for the song, Thank You Next, most iconic thing I've
Kris
ever seen in my
Jenner.
life. That's it. They did it like
Clueless,
Mean Girls. It was
They had a bit of
so
everything.
cute.
I love that.
Me too.
And I like that. You know what? Wow. I just got really like philosophical. Ariana Grande with this album really stepped out of her typical childish music, let's be honest. She really like used to make music for 13-year-olds, which when I was 13, I loved it.
I feel like yes and no. Some of it was like a little bit wild.
No, not until now.
Okay, sure.
Not until now. Before it was like popular.
No, but then
Now it's like
yeah, like
tea,
yeah.
shade, sexy time. Anyways, yeah, she just made like that transition into more mature music, like
Mhm.
more like trying to get more older people
Yeah.
listening. And you know who else did this? Miley Cyrus. However,
No, but
she did it in kind of a trashy way.
yeah, but that's what she does. But that also
Yeah, but
the
Ariana
whole,
Grande did this beautifully. And that's why it became so it was such a positive like
Mhm.
there's positive feedback.
Mhm.
Everybody loved this album.
But that's her image. Like she's more like cutesy. Like
Yeah, but
Miley's
she wasn't
like,
all cutesy in this
you know?
album.
I know,
That's
but
my
she still
point.
had the more.
She did the transition without being over the top.
I
And
agree.
that's why it was so gracefully executed.
I agree. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Another one. Baby on Baby and Kirk by DaBaby were both released this year. They both were huge. And
It's just all about the babies.
I'm going baby on. And lastly, So Much Fun by Young Thug.
And we didn't talk about. We didn't say. Well, we talked about it before, but Billie Eilish.
Oh yes, of course. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? We're gonna
Mhm.
come back to this topic really quickly later, but next.
So this is before we dive into our polls. We just want to give a few disclaimers because I feel like we're disclaimering this whole episode.
Well, there's a few. Our polls always get a little bit of
A little bit of backlash.
controversy.
Yes. So I got backlash for these polls. People were like, how can you even compare these two? What are you talking about? These are uncomparable. And
Well,
what?
there's a little method to our madness.
Exactly.
Okay, we don't just
We
throw stuff
Pull
out
things
there.
out of thin air. All right? We had a whole plan to this because we wanted to see what the people thought. All right? So what we did for most of them, we compared AMA, so the American Music Award winners, compared to the Billboard winners. So,
Which
Sarah-
are the two biggest like music
yeah.
award shows. The difference is the billboards are strictly facts. There are different categories like most streamed,
Mm-hmm.
most sold, and
Most listened to.
most played on the radio.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So those are like numbers that you can't.
Mess with.
Yeah, there's no bias involved.
Mm-hmm.
with the AMAs, it is fan voted, and of course, no 22-year-old is going to take time out of their day to vote on the AMA. So there's a little bit of a bias involved in the AMAs, in my personal belief.
Well, when you see like streamed versus like voted, like more people are gonna go stream it than vote for it. So yeah, you're right. Maybe not necessarily biased, but it just goes to show you that more people were probably listening to the person who won the Billboard Award because it was strictly on streams
Numbers,
and bought.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah. So for the AMAs, Taylor Swift won Artist of the Decade, which really bothers me a lot
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's very rude to Drake.
Okay, pause. So on our poll, so it was actually our last poll because we knew it was going to be a kicker. We said Taylor Swift or Drake as Artist of the Decade. And everyone was like, how could you even compare Taylor Swift to Drake? La 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 la. And
La 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 la.
la 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 la. But Taylor Swift's amazing. I think she's good. She's a great artist. She's produced many great songs, iconic songs. I can't disagree with that.
Sure. Is she Artist of the Decade?
No.
Absolutely not. Fun fact, Drake spent 476 weeks in the top 10
This decade.
on Billboard.
Mm-hmm. There's 520 weeks in a decade.
That means for over 90% of this entire decade, Drake spent
on the Billboard, on the top 100.
No, top 10. Top
Whoa,
10.
top 10?
That means
it was top
almost
100.
every single day for the last 10 years, he was in the top 10.
Yeah.
That is the Artist of the Decade.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You cannot tell me Drake wasn't the Artist of this decade.
No. I think he was, especially in Toronto.
And thank you to Drake for being a great representative for the city of Toronto.
Yeah.
He has brought so much hype to this city, to other Toronto artists and rappers.
Yep.
To the Toronto Raptors, which
he's done so much for the city,
and for himself. Just his image in general has made Toronto put it on the map.
Place. Literally
put it on the map. 100%. He is not only the Artist of the Decade, in my opinion. He's the Artist of the Decade by Billboard statistics, and he's just a great representative for Toronto, Canada.
I agree.
And his brands are amazing.
I know Taylor Swift. Okay, so Taylor Swift won the AMA.
Because you know who votes for AMAs? 14-year-old girls.
No, but she did really good stuff.
Yeah, great.
She's won so many awards. She's broken records for winning awards. However, I just feel like her impact. This is how I was comparing it to one of my friends who was like, "Oh, I think Taylor Swift should have been is Artist of the Decade." I said to her, if you go to the average person and you're like, okay, Taylor Swift, Drake, who do you know more of? Probably Drake.
And yes, exactly. I just wanted to say, the last Taylor Swift song that I actually remember more than 4 lyrics to is 22.
Okay, yeah.
When did that come out?
Well, no.
2014?
I don't actually know.
Taylor Swift, I think she actually really had her peak right before this decade started, in 2009.
Maybe up until
2013, 14.
Yeah.
But Drake carried out his legacy or whatever. He was at a peak this entire decade.
I think so. I think you're right. I think you're 100% right about that. Anyway, back to our polls.
Are we gonna go for poll time right now? Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
we are,
going
because
for poll
Paula
time.
told us to. But before we go into poll time, I just want to do the Q&As. So we did ask you guys 2 questions. First of all, we asked you guys what the best song of the year was, and we had 3 responses that were pretty consistent. Number 1 was Middle Child by J. Cole. It was a great song. Loved it. Would I consider it song of the year?
I don't know.
Probably not. But it was good.
Yeah. But these are ones we got reoccurring from
These are
the fans.
Yeah, exactly. These are answers that we got multiple times from you guys. Second, we got No Guidance by Chris Brown and Drake. Chris Brown and Drake is always going to be a good mix.
Yeah, that's true. Chris Brown's great. Drake, amazing, When the two are together?
Beautiful.
What was that? And
Lastly was Sicko Mode by Travis Scott and Drake. Just saying, Drake was there twice.
Just saying.
Just
Or did I see
saying.
Taylor Swift? No, I didn't. Yeah, no, Sicko Mode's a good one.
Sicko Mode actually came out in 2018, but again, it really just carried on.
Yeah, throughout this year.
And you know what?
I think Paulo disagrees with that.
I think what I'm noticing here is there's actually no strong contender for this. Like, really, what is the song of the year?
Well,
We got a Mo Bamba, but that actually came out last year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's actually funny.
What a song. Anyways, I don't know. Best albums of the year.
We kind
of already talked about
Yeah.
this, but we're just going to say what you guys said.
So we had When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? That's a
By
long
Billie
album
Eilish.
name.
Very long album.
Yeah, but Billie
But whenever
Eilish.
I say that album name, I want to sing it. Because you know the song?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, Billie Eilish, Astroworld by Travis Scott. Nothing has to be said about that. Scorpion by Drake also came out in the end of 2018.
Yeah.
But
Relevant for
whatever.
this year. Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. Post Malone did really well this year.
yeah, but you know what? I don't think it was as good as Stoney. Or Beer Bong Bentley.
Yeah, but honestly, my dad loves Post Malone. We listen to a lot of Post Malone in my house. I think he's a great artist. I think he
he's good.
he does well for himself.
For
And
sure.
I think his voice is actually really good.
And it's different.
Yeah,
He
it
brings
is
like
different.
a different vibe to the rap
Yeah,
world.
for sure.
Please excuse me for being antisocial by Roddy Ricch. A lot of you said that.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit surprising, but I like that.
Yeah.
Different, new artist, not a huge name, but he's coming up.
So maybe he'll win some awards in
Maybe
2020.
he's on the way.
You never know.
So Much Fun by Young Thug, which I expected that. That was an amazing album as well. And lastly, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. So
also
that's
expected.
what you guys thought. Yeah. Some pretty good answers in there. But now we're going to get into the real juicy stuff. The polls.
The poll.
It is poll time. First,
I think we should create a song for this part.
we should definitely create a poll time song. First poll, Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple Music won with 51%. Very close.
They won by 1%. It's not, you know what? I think if we actually
I think
had
it's
more followers, we might
2%.
Yeah.
No, honestly, Spotify, I really like what they do with the wrap up better than what Apple did with the wrap up.
I think their layout with anything playlist related.
I never had Spotify Premium, so I can't vouch for it.
You know what? I don't want to make any stereotypes here. But I think
What?
just from what I know, like
Okay.
people who really, really enjoy music and actually explore music, like I want to hear like new artists, new songs, rather than like mainstream stuff. Wow, I really just went off the mic. Sorry, guys. Yeah. People who really want to like explore and enjoy that would prefer and do prefer Spotify because they have so much better options.
Like I said, I don't really know
in terms of like
but
discovering new
you've had
artists.
both, right?
I've had both.
Okay.
And I love going on Spotify and going through different playlists and going through like the playlists they make for you. Which I don't think Apple does that. They don't make like your daily mixes on Spotify.
Yeah, they do. They make like for you ones, but if it's like if you've listened to it in the most recent, they do. But
Okay.
yeah.
I just think that Spotify does a bit of a better job with that.
Yeah.
But I also see why people really like Apple Music. It's a little bit simpler.
It's right on your phone already.
It's very
like
easy to like I feel like it's easier to like control, understand, whatever. Very close. It's very dependent on each person.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think like I think they're pretty like even in the playing field, like when it comes to like just the logistics of it. Like, you can find music on every platform.
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna, for the most part, you'll find the same
songs everywhere
on Spotify and Apple Music. You might just prefer the layout of one over the other.
Yeah.
Next, best artist that popped off this year. We wanted to ask you guys, and we put it between Billie Eilish and Juice WRLD because they were the winners for the AMAs and the Billboards. And Billie Eilish won. She had 53% of the votes, and Juice WRLD had 47.
Which, honestly, close, but I did expect Billie Eilish to win just because of how fast she, like, rose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, did we hear about her last year? No. Maybe once or twice. And then all of a sudden, 2019, we hear all about her.
She won.
Yeah.
She won.
Yeah.
That's all I can...
Paolo's giving us cut eye.
You know what? That's fine.
All right.
Statistics talk.
The statistics talk. Next, Song of the Year. Okay, guys. This is another one people hated on us for.
Okay, but again, method to our madness.
Yes.
We did this because of the Billboards and the AMAs.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like I said before, there was no standout song this year, in my opinion. So, because of the Billboard and AMAs, we compared Sicko Mode because that was the most streamed song to Old Town Road, which actually won the vote from AMAs of Best Song of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Sicko Mode won at 79%.
I feel like Old Town Road's a joke at this point.
Who voted for Old Town Road?
No, I mean, like, good song because it... Okay.
It's funny. It is a joke.
Song.
It's not like a good song.
Yeah.
There's nothing
it's
good
catchy.
about it.
That's the only thing.
Not even. It's just a meme to me. I'm so mad that actually 21% of people voted for this. But yeah, anyway, Sicko Mode won by a lot. Next. Bad artist. Paulo, take the timestamp. You're going to have to bleep that.
I was waiting to see if you were going to say it.
City Girls versus Cardi B. We talked about City Girls before. If you don't know who they are, I feel like just not a lot of people know who they are yet, but they started the Hot Girl Summer movement.
Mm-hmm.
They lost.
But yeah, they did lose compared to Cardi B. Understandable. Cardi B is...
she's much more well-known.
Yeah. She's been, winning awards. She's been performing everywhere. She's great. However, both of them got me feeling some type of way. I get into the mood.
Me too. But for me, I love Cardi B as a person. Like, I think she's so funny.
Yeah.
In Hustlers, she was hilarious.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's a funny person.
She's just funny on, like, talk shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of music, Cardi B's so hit or miss for me. I love certain songs, and I can't stand other ones. City Girls had a few songs, and they were all pretty, like...
I feel like they all had the same vibe.
Yeah, they do. It's literally just bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, Cardi B won. And who do you think the artist of the decade is? Drake won.
Newsflash, Taylor Swift actually artist of the decade. Whoever said Drake, you're terrible.
Drake won at 90%. Taylor Swift had 10% of the votes.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenna and I actually thought that Drake would win by 100%.
Yeah, I honestly did.
So,
especially being from Toronto, like, I don't know, like, how do you go and, like, say... I'm not trying to diss Taylor Swift because I know so many of her songs, not because I go out of my way to search them up, just because they're on the radio and everyone knows them. I just feel like the impact that Drake had, like, overpowered, like, looking back on the decade, I think Drake. I do not think Taylor Swift. No. But yeah.
That 10% did. Let's talk about our opinion here. Jenna, what did you think about the music this year?
What did I think? Okay, I mean, every year there's great music, great artists. However, I don't think this was like a crazy, amazing year for music. Is that bad to say?
I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2017 was better.
Summer 16.
2016 was iconic.
Yes.
And 2018 was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it just didn't compare to them. And the fact that most of the best albums this year actually came out last year,
yeah,
just shows that there was nothing, like, amazing this year that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing even close to, like, an Astroworld or a Scorpion.
Yeah, hype.
Nothing that crazy came out this year. I think this year was more of, like, smaller artists actually making it.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Good.
Because maybe in the next decade, wow, we're old. In the next, like, it'll be them, and maybe we'll have another, like, 2016 year and years to come where just, like, everything blows up.
For sure. And the last thing that I think is I'm sad that there was no song this year that really, like,
Defined it.
defined the year.
I feel like there
Last
could be for
year,
every person.
Mo Bamba was the song of the year.
Yeah.
You can't lie. Mo Bamba was the song of the year last year. And usually it is a stupid song like that.
Yeah.
But there was just nothing this year like that. And that's kind of, like, sad. Like, what are we going to remember this year by?
Well, I feel like it could be different for every person. You know, that's a lot with music. It could be different. Someone could be like, I know that this song defined my whole, like, whatever. But I don't know. Maybe, like, in a few years, I'll be like, oh, that song was, like, good in 2019. Like, that was, like, but right now, I feel like I don't connect. So I'm not connecting with any songs.
Me either. Nothing enough to, like, define 2019.
I think I have to agree with you on that one.
But I do think what we got out of this year was Billie Eilish.
Mm-hmm. Who I think she's going to do well for years to come.
For sure. She's so young. I believe she's 1 year younger than
No, she's our age.
Is she?
Yeah. Her birthday's just late in the year. Oh, yeah, she's 2001.
Yeah. So that's awesome. She's young. She's popping. We got a lot of just new artists that we're going to see some good stuff from. And other than that, we had the end of a decade, which Drake took over, which is amazing for Toronto.
Her birthday's December 18th, just saying. Sorry. I just looked at it right now because I had to make sure.
Woo-woo! 11 days. Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to go listen to some of these things. You know, look back on the year. Look back on the decade.
Make yourself a playlist. Make yourself a 2019 playlist.
What
songs do you guys connect
with? Go listen
with?
to your Spotify or Apple Music playlist too. Because they wrap it up for you.
Yep, they do.
And we're going to wrap it up right now. Thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in today. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. And we have exciting things coming soon.
Stay tuned. Bye, guys.